Hello. I am Kara Chism, and I am here with Jeana Partin, the Dean of Student Success at Carson-Newman University. If you're not familiar with Carson-Newman University, you should be. It is a wonderful university that is doing a lot of things with character school-wide. Jeana, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Karen. Thanks for inviting me here to tell about this initiative that we're doing here at Carson-Newman related to character development for all of our students.
Carson-Newman University, it has a university-wide approach to what they do with character, and they really encourage each of the departments to embed character into their programs. Can you briefly describe for us Carson-Newman's approach to character and then how the Student Success Center fits into that larger system?
I'm excited to talk about the fact that we are celebrating our 175th anniversary as a university. We're a Christian-based university, so Christian character formation has been embedded in the university's goals and our mission and our values ever since its inception. But this focus on intentional character development that we've been doing recently has come out of an initiative and a strategic plan that Dr. Fowler and the Board of Trustees developed and initiated back in 2021. It's called Acorns to Oaks. It was really to focus on emphasizing the Christian intellectual tradition and then also this idea of Christian anthropology. We were tasked with really focusing on character development and vocation and calling for all of our students here at Carson-Newman. This is with our staff, it's with our faculty. A new focus has been for faculty related to our provost office. We have developed character development type protocols and things like that for our new faculty. It's called our Luke 10 Fellows. They have mentors that are guiding new faculty and helping them to understand the university's mission and the values and focusing on this idea of character development and faith integration and helping them focus on their calling at the university. By focusing on that and having seasoned faculty mentors is helping them to also help the students in developing their characters. So in the faculty professional development side, we're doing these character development activities and opportunities. From an intentional student perspective, we're also weaving a lot of this within our curriculum itself in terms of our goals and our objectives related to Christian character formation and also helping our students understand their calling and purpose. Within the Student Success Office, we felt like this was a great opportunity for us to take this initiative and develop something that would be very intentional for our students here that we serve. Our mission statement for our university is that as Christian educators, we're here to help our students reach their full potential as educated citizens and worldwide servant leaders. In student success, we're focusing on this idea of full potential. There's two aspects of full potential that have been developed within our mission statement as definitions, and those two facets are character formation and calling, vocation and calling. Here within student success, we are really focused on helping our students to flourish while they're here at Carson-Newman, but then also as they move away from us so that they have developed these habits and these skills that we have helped them to cultivate while they have been here. We developed this coaching protocol for character formation that our university has placed importance on and has given us a lot of support and buy-in over the last few years.
I love hearing that story of how it started really with your president and the board of trustees. And what a clever name with the acorns to oaks. That really gives you such a great description of what they want to do. Then they have provided all kinds of supports for the different departments to be able to do that. In the Student Success Center, what did you see and experience that caused you to incorporate character coaching into the Student Success program at Carson-Newman?
Our Student Success team over the years, through our academic coaching, our training, our professional development that we've done in several different areas, we have focused on students related to their time management, goal setting, all of those kinds of things. We're coaching them. We have classes for them, all of these kinds of things, but there wasn't really a systemic way us to focus on developing character for them. When I came here, I came with this background of working at the University of Tennessee, and I worked with a team, the Center for Educational Leadership there, and we were focusing on cultivating character. And this was for specifically our graduate students in our educational leadership department. So when I was hired here, I brought that knowledge, and I also brought Betty Sue Sparks with me. And she's just amazing. Her area of emphasis has been on character strengths. We felt like our students having that specific language of positive character strengths, knowing their talents, which are Clifton Strengths, and then knowing those values that they are really gifted at, those things that are the core of who they are, which is the values and action. That was just going to help. And it was going to help us pull this all together for them, because we were already focusing on those time management and goal setting. But then we could talk about who are they as a person? How has God given them these special talents and abilities? And how can they use those as they're pursuing their goals, whether they be academic or personal? We were really excited to incorporate this character work and this character language within the successful work that we were already doing. We just felt like this was just going to really make that more holistic for our students to help them flourish.
Just put a pretty bow on it. That was kind of the part that the one last little piece that you were able to bring to the table there to make that just a complete package for the student. The Student Success Center works with students in academics and character. How do you see the character coaching complementing the traditional academic coaching to support student success and flourishing?
I feel like using the 7 strategies for cultivating virtue, which I was introduced to that Wake Forest Educating Character initiative in their community. I was introduced to Michael Lamb's work on those 7 strategies for cultivating virtue and the work that he and his team had done at Oxford with those postgraduate students using that framework. I thought that would be the perfect framework to take our students through and develop this refined coaching protocol. It really helps our students to focus in on themselves and develop self-awareness. It's not just focusing on those academic type skills. It's focusing on helping them to reflect on who they are and who God has created them to be. On this campus, we are here for them and want to see them succeed and flourish. When we were kind of identifying the need for this, it really was about fulfilling our mission statement, which was helping them to reach their full potential while they're here. We only have these 4 years. How can we maximize our effort here in student success? It really gave us that roadmap and that framework to talk to them about all of these character terms and initiatives and those things that would help them flourish while they're here and then hopefully in the future.
To help them get there. That's awesome. So the protocol is really built around the 7 strategies for cultivating virtue, which are language, reflection, practice, reminders, friendship systems, and role models. Can you give us a brief overview of how you've designed the framework to be used at Carson-Newman?
Yes. So this is something really exciting about this framework. I was just amazed at how well this framework fit together with what we were already doing. And so were our coaches. We were training our coaches on the Clifton Strengths and the VIA character strengths. And it was just like this aha moment of, wow, we're already doing these things. This gives us that roadmap, that protocol, that systematic way for us to build it. We have 8 weeks of this character coaching with our students. We usually spend about 20 to 30 minutes with them each week. We had 16 of them to participate, and we used this initial protocol. Our first week is language, talking about the language of virtue. They have already taken their Clifton Strengths assessments. They have already taken their VIA assessments, and they are being introduced to the language of character. We chose those specific assessments because the V assessments has the 24 character strengths and they're grouped under certain virtues. So that one really fits well with this character language that we're trying to cultivate with them. And then the Clifton strengths fit really well with helping them to understand their talents, achiever and activator and relator and those types of things. The two assessments work really well together when we're talking to the students because we're talking about their head strengths or their talents and their heart strengths. Building that language of character that first week. The second week, then we start talking to them and cultivating this relationship with them one-on-one. We talk to them about past experiences and their understanding of those strengths. So we're trying to develop that self-awareness and reflection within them. The third week, this is the week of developing habits, and it's about practice. During this week, we have them develop an individual development plan. So it's asking them to set some goals and talking to them about ways that they're going to practice cultivating their strengths and their character. Then the fourth week, we talk to them about some moral reminders. All of these are part of this 7 strategies for cultivating virtue frameworks. We talk to them about moral reminders and we talk to them about how do I connect those to some of my real life decisions and situations, moral reminders that are happening within some of the different classrooms or settings, campus life, campus ministries, within some of their teams, some of their our coaching staff is amazing and their emphasis is really about character formation. It's great when we talk to these football players about character formation. They're already hearing some of this language in their teams. The fifth week is friendships. We emphasize to them in this college journey that their choice of friendships is really important in their character development and helping them to fulfill their potential, to understand their calling, and to fulfill these goals that they've set out. If they're choosing positive friendships that are influencing them positively, it's going to help them from an accountability standpoint to achieve these goals. We talked to them about how are they using their strengths to engage with their friends. What kind of strengths are they seeing in their friends? Really developing this language throughout. One of the things I didn't say at the beginning is we really see this protocol like as a tapestry. We don't just say we're focusing on this specific strategy and then we're done with that. Each week, we're integrating and building on a strategy. We're constantly going back and talking about some of the different things that we've talked about in the previous weeks. So week 6 is talking about the systems here at our university. We want them to reflect on the different systems that they're a part of and how they can flourish within those systems. If they're an athlete, talk about that whole system of their team and how all that relates, and then the compliance issues that they have. We talk about the university as a whole and how they can navigate some of those systems. We talk about some things that they might observe within the systems that might be a bias that they have within that system, or maybe a bias that they see that's within the system. We really let them the opportunity to talk about some of those things and how can they use their strengths to flourish and succeed within those systems that they are in. The 7th week, we talk to them about role models. We ask them questions about who's someone either from your past or now that you really look up to, and they exhibit what you consider exemplary character. A lot of them talk about their fathers, their grandfathers, maybe a coach, maybe a teacher. And they're able to reflect on a person, someone that they want to possibly be like. So this is helping them not only in character formation and cultivation, but it's also helping them in their calling. A lot of times the role models that they are looking up to may be in the same program or calling. We talk about the strengths of those role models and what is it about those role models in terms of their character that they would like to model. Finally, the last week, we do a review with them. We look at that individual development plan. We look at where they are in the semester academic, because that's why we're here, and help them to focus in on all of those tools and resources that we've used and the things that they've learned about themselves. That's the protocol in a nutshell. There's a lot of individual pieces and activities, and I'm more than happy to share the protocol with anyone who would want to see the actual protocol itself.
I think a lot of people would definitely be interested in the detailed version of that. You said that the students are paired with coaches. How do you pair them with mentors? How do you select mentors to participate in the program?
We currently have 6 academic coaches in student success. The way we pair them is by degree program. Our success coaches are specializing in a specific degree program and career path for the students. We also have coaches that have special relationships with the athletic teams. Sometimes it's just because we've developed a relationship already with a particular student. Some of our coaches are also faculty, professors. They may have interacted with a student within a course that they have taught. There's already a relationship that's been developed, but our primary way is through the degree program that those coaches have been assigned to.
That makes great sense. You've been doing this for a couple years now. What are some results that you've seen from this program, specifically in regard to character development?
We've seen greater confidence from our students, the ability to be more self-aware and reflect on their own character, to talk about their strengths, which is going to help them in all of their life pursuits, for them to understand who God created them to be and how they fit into His greater story. Really, we want to help them make some good decisions. So we started that protocol with our first year athletes, and then we assessed it through a research study. We interviewed 12 of those athletes and asked them some specific questions about their experiences with the protocol, and then we refined it. The protocol that we have right now is the second version. We used that this past fall with more first-year athletes and also what we call academic recovery students, those students who've been put on probation. We've had some concrete success with our students that have been on probation. We've had increase in grade point averages. It gives them more confidence in what they're doing and helping them to understand their goals, their strengths, and how they can use those as they're setting their goals. It's helped our probation students from an academic standpoint. You and I are talking about character development, but as an administrator, student success, one of my missions and goals is retention, student retention. I do want to say that we have seen positive results this past year in our academic recovery students with retention who received the character coaching and those who chose not to participate, because it is volunteer. We don't require our students to participate in it. We had about 75% of our students who were on academic recovery participate in the coaching. And we saw greater success with those students than we did with the students who were not in the academic coaching. That's all a part of our evaluation and assessment. We'll just continue to do that. This coming year, we're planning on using the protocol again with our first year athletes, our academic recovery students, and then we're going to be introducing this coaching protocol to what we call our academic skills enhancement students, which are those students who need some additional coursework before they start some of those college level courses.
Thank you so much for sharing what Carson-Newman is doing with this, what Student Success was doing with the character development piece, and then just all the success that you all have had through strategically implementing this type of framework.